Hmm. Hi there, fun live for my first time on YouTube. I would prefer to do it on my telephone, but I don't have enough subscribers. And so, what I was working today was I had a wonderful conversation in the exclusive group of the Macklin community. I've been a part of this community for a long time. Great folks, really practicing authenticity, living a life in community. Like, what does it mean to create a community? And so on our call today, it was a great place to work, something that I'm practicing. And it's first is like, don't forget the first step. Yeah. And the first step is I create it to be dance. Because when we dance, whatever it is, speaking is a dance, is that when whatever it is for you, when I learn to listen to it, I can accept your dance. And that's what I'm working here is like to listen and then the second step, don't forget the first step is dance. And then the second step is listen question mark. Like, what are you listening to? Are you listening to your ego thinking mind, or are you listening to truth, love, joy, happiness? Mm. And so this is like it's my training. I've got a bachelor's of science in petroleum engineering. Started my business. I've been a business owner for 16 years, and for over a dozen of those have made more than seven figures in the millions, and all through my 30s. Yeah, and so now it's looking at like emotion engineering. That is what I'm working here is like to notice our emotional engineering. This is our patterns, and engineers are really good at looking at patterns, understanding patterns, pulling them apart and making them simple. That is what my aim is, to help you around life. Just my journey, just who I am. And so today we were working in the arena, and the warm-up question was, what was the best line that you received in 7 days? And where I started with was like, wow, right here, right now, this call with these beautiful people, these wonderful creators I'm with is the best line. And what can I do to amplify that creation together? And so, wow, we just had a wonderful conversation of authenticity, yeah, of honest, of truth, and practice listening without the judger, without having to be wrong, without having to be right, without proving. And it's just like listening, not to your judger, but listening to their heart, to your heart. And it allowed me to get things out that I was practicing in my head. Other people could hear them, and it opened up my ability to see, to change, to improve the complexity to simple, to help me power up my power, my passion, and my purpose. To get clearer, Cindy, zoom in and zoom out, different layers. Yeah, all the same. Celebrate, listen, and celebrate, listen, and dance. Dance. Sorry, I had to go backwards. Like it was there to go backwards, and I didn't know it very well. Good. And so we were working through it, and like to set up the conversation. I had no idea where I was going to like what I was going with it. It was just this came 1 minute before the call was to ignite your passion, purpose, and power. There we go. And it's kind of a theme that I've been working on this week. And so in that was we all went around and shared our distinctions of what those were. And mine starting out was power, control, passion, love. And then it went purpose, and it was empty. There was nothing there. And I was like, huh, what does that mean? It's like nothing there. It's like, okay. The word is like, I'm testing the word is purpose often is no, purpose is strong. It's like the 3 Ps. It was like, that's strong, but then I'm missing something. It's like, oh, I'm blocked or something's blocked around purpose. And so it was like, oh, what a great way to bring that into the existence. And so we popped on, we did our thing, and it was like, anything you want to work? It's like, yeah, I want to work this. And so we worked it. And what was found amazing was everyone went around and gave their description of power, gave their description of how they thought I was going to say something else about power, but rather I said control. And it was like, oh, great job. I celebrate your dance of sharing with me your resistance. Yeah. See, sharing your resistance to being powerful, yeah, to finding your passion and living your purpose. See, that is what we say we want. We think we're going for it, but our patterns are sabotaging us. Emotion engineering here. And it's to, whoa, slow down my ego that always has to be right and look at what am I really doing? Because it is a child pattern that we've learned to fix everything. Now, engineers love that one too. And so just working through we worked through different things and people shared what was there. And it was so authentic. It was so true. It was so real. And like as we went through it, I could connect to things that I was working on as I went through power, passion, and purpose this week. And power, Cindy, you opened up source. Yeah, where I could only see control, not knowing why, didn't question it, just left it there. And what I found was like the control wasn't for me to work. Someone else needed to hear the control that way. And so I gave it the way that it was for me. And as I did that, what I could see was the pattern that was there, and it was very similar to mine. And it was like some visions that I've had as a 4-year-old that's sitting on the edge of the garden, wanting to go play but he couldn't, and he was sad about this. He wanted to just go out in the field and have fun and play rather than be working pulling weeds in the garden, because that was love. That was what my child made up about having to work in the garden. That was my version of work. I hated it. Now, yes, I had to do my part, help the family, be in the garden, do my work, right? But it meant that I couldn't have fun. And so I couldn't tie work and fun together. And so I just, so work was never fun. And this is a big pattern. Now this deep pattern gets connected in, entangled with love, money, success, all of this identity version of what does it mean to be successful in the world. But at the fundamental root of it is that I've got to work for it, which means it can't be, usually for most people, it can't be easy. So your power can't be easy. Your passion can't be easy. And your purpose can't be easy. It has to be work. Because work is how you validated your worth in this world from your mom and dad, from society. It is your pattern. It is for you to discover your pattern. I am just shining a light on the fundamental. And that's whether or not you want to do the work. That's yours. And so, Joanne, you were really connected into and what I just say is the industrial revolution, right? That the machines, you don't need to think, just be a machine, turn into a pattern, right? Algorithms, all of that is what that is from. It's like work hard, efficiency, squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it, get more out of the machine, out of the labor. And it's so deep. No, it is from our parents and from their parents. It's just evolution passed down as we transform into huge change. And we still haven't gotten very good at it. And so, Joanne, is like in the power, like I loved how you said, oh, it's energy. Yes, it's like energy and source. It was like I was connected into that. And what I listened to in you, and this was also the work, the efficiencies. I've heard it a couple of times, improvements, yeah, and it's from the machine mentality of the hard work. I got to work hard for it. Now I know you've done a lot of work with that, and like it shows, it's obvious with it. One of the things that you and Lainey seem like are holding on around the powers that you're giving it away. Your GPA, giving power away, is more than you standing in it. And so there's a deficit. And you think the more deficit you give out, the more that you'll get in return. And it's opposite of that. But you can keep running your patterns because we do fight for our limitations. Because again, everyone has to let go of what they've created as what life is. And so to look at you and Lainey, just look at where am I giving my power away? Where am I not stepping in my power? And Cindy, I just acknowledge you listening, step 2, listening to the dance. It just keeps showing up that you're practicing, you're in it. And I just loved the help. It's like seeing it in Help, and it's like, oh, look at your version and his version of Help, and how do you bring them together? Not changing him, not fixing him, and this is what we cover in Happily Married, but how to be what you want with him. See it all once we dance, right? By yourself or with others, speaking, right? Dancing, literal dancing, or just a tune in your heart. Yeah, we're listening. What am I dancing to? What has got my attention so that I can zoom it in, so I can laser focus it on what I want? And when you can begin to see that you're focusing on what you don't want to happen, you can change it. Now, see, people want change, but won't do it. And that's what so many people, they use that to their advantage. Is I try to lure you in with all the money, right? All the success, all the fame. I get your ego's attention, and then you pay me money or pay someone money, and 10% of you do the work. That doesn't work for either of us. And so in this is to listen for your dance. Thank you guys for sharing this with me. I learned uh what did and so in that is like I got some more clarity on purpose, but what I can say is power freed up. Oh wow, it's like no longer am I stuck on control. So I know that shift took place somewhere. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I'm freer with it. Yeah. And so it's like, oh, I'm still in my purpose. Yeah. It's like, oh, my way of being. And it's like, what I set with is like, this is me practicing it. This is me demonstrating it. This is me being my power, my passion, and my purpose. How else would we do it? How else would we know what it would be like? How else would it happen? See, this is where we get confused. We think we're not waiting for a miracle, yet we don't believe in miracles. In that we are alive. And they're looking to see how can they turn us humans into batteries, because there's none of our technology is even close. Hmm. We are powerful. And when we see this, then we can choose. We can choose to keep our limitations, our restrictions, or we can choose to let them go. And it's so much more joyful to let them go, because they're really just beliefs that you're afraid to look at. You're afraid that the world will find out who you really are. And that's true. The world is not a friendly place. But we can keep going the way we're going, or we can try something new. We can break the pattern and try a new pattern. And that new pattern, what I work here is, what is it that you want? And if you have your list of 5 of this is the things that I want, great. Let's look at if they're a true choice, or they still a sabotaging cycle, a loop. Most of us are trapped in that still. Yeah. Well, look at, where are you giving your power away? GPA. What's your GPA rating? What's the majority of the time you're giving your power away rather than standing in it? Giving it to other people. Let's look at your pattern. Where are you giving it? And there's 6 of them, right? I'm not good enough. That was mine. I'm not worthy. If I do enough and prove it, then I am worthy, that I'm good enough, then I can have what I want. That was my pattern of giving, GPA, giving my power away. And when you stop that, then what happens is you accumulate it, you keep it, you use it, and then you think about, how do I create it? It's like, oh, how do I ignite passion, purpose, and power? That's power up. So I really enjoyed, thank you for helping me see so many things through that session, and being able to share it with you. And part of like what really revealed here is as an engineer, we're not good with our emotions. And the emotions are key. The emotions allow the ignition, the catalyst, the spark. And it keeps us in it, not that it's hard work, not that we control it, not that it has to expect it to go a certain way, but it's in the creation as we believe in the process. We trust it. We trust you, each other, ourselves. We trust our own power. We trust our own passion, and we trust our own purpose. When we're aligned in our power, in our passion, and in our purpose, we are in our truth. We are in our authenticity. We are being our authentic self. We are being happily married. We are living our life. We are miracles. And then when we allow that we are love, that we can be loved, that we love one another. Yeah. Oh, it's like the emotion of love. It's like from an engineer, I didn't feel that. I shut it off at 6. I shut it off at 7 and said the world is successful, doesn't need that. Doesn't need to be that guy. Yeah. So I shut them off. And I think so many of us shut them off and still look for what it is out there, thinking in our mental mind we built our construct of what really love is and haven't opened up ours. I remember the first time I opened it up and allowed love in. Wow. Like it's one of my key October 1st through October 4th is when I like just before my birthday, 4 months into this work, that's when I allowed it. And when I allowed that, I could allow joy and allow peace and allow calmness. And it was a whole nother place. It's like, wow, the power showed up. The emotion showed up in the words. It was like, wow, now I could work with it and find out what was in the way because I wasn't allowing it. I wasn't allowing love, yet up here, I was in love. I was married. I was a son. I had a world construct of what love was. And it was great. It's fine. It was limiting. And now it's like truly, and it's like every day I'm finding creating new and improving it. And that is what creation is. It's like living life is to know that it's going to end, yet create with what you got left. Create value, create passion, create purpose, create power. And that just allowed me to have my next big aha change transformation was when I said, yes, I am a powerful creator. We are all powerful. And to step in the power for me was a good and evil fight, was success and failure, rich and poor, huge fight that I had made up as a child. Yeah. And contracts were made, past histories, right? It's like, yeah, you're choosing this way. Like we're gonna protect you, right? And like all of us have our version of that, but mine specifically was mine. Yeah. And people will resonate with those the more that we tell them. And so that was like that and now that I see, like I talked about it for a long time, but now that I'm being a demonstration of the power of this, it's like another level for me. I've zoomed out. I've come out. I've seen I'm another level. It's like I progressed. My GPA has gotten a little better. Like I stopped giving so much power away, and now I'm starting to use it and create with it. Learn how to control it, but in a wonderful way of aiming, focusing it, redirecting it on what I want that's good for everyone so that they can get what they want, teaching them how to get what they want so that we can go for what we want. And so that was what I was celebrating today. That's what I was delivering live for the first time. No one's here. It's wonderful. Not that no one's here, but it's wonderful that I did this. So now I become this live person on YouTube. Yeah. And it's like, oh, I did it. It's out of the way. Now what? And then in that, it's like I shared what was valuable for me in our group and amplifying the Macklin community, each of you in that. Yeah, hopefully this rebounds in a way that it, like my changes help you live the life, get what you want, see what you want, and go for it. See where you're giving your power away. Wonderful. Thank you. Have a great day, great weekend. It was great being with you on every Thursday morning that you're there.